Hello all, it's 4C Cicely here. Hope you're having a good Friday, TGIF. And I wanted to talk today about three things. Number one is the matter of edges. Now, I've been under the weave since the beginning of time, so I haven't really had to deal with the edges because for the most part I had them in. But now I'm having to deal with them. And I remember one time, actually I went to a book signing in a beauty salon, and they had the design, I think is the name of the company, Sleek Edges Styling Gel or whatever. And I bought some of that because I remember that the beautician, when she used to install the hair extensions in my hair, she would finish my hairline up with that just to make it look neat. And so this morning I was getting ready because I had to go back to this assignment downtown, and had a little edge action going on. And I said, oh, well, I have some leftovers of that jar because when I began this journey, I actually went through, and I'm in the restroom again, and I'm looking down at it. You wouldn't think I did. And I got rid of a lot of products. And I said, well, there's no need for this anymore. There's no need for that anymore because you're going in a different direction. And it's not so much only getting rid of the weave and not getting a relax for that decision, but also I wanted to really deal with only a few core products. And I wanted those products to be sulfate free, not have a lot of glycerin in them. Just the natural oils like the coconut oil, the castor, the man, I really had a brain fart. Olive oil, etc. and stuff. So a lot of the items I had, which I wasn't really even using. That's like another video altogether. What do you need all that stuff for if you got weave? Anyways, so I got rid of a lot of that stuff, but I said, you know, don't throw away that jar of the gel because you may want it. Of the, gel. So I pulled it out, and I was like, okay, untwist, untwist, untwist. And let's put a little of the gel on. There you go. There you go. Nice and neat. What do you think happened before I got I'm right-handed, so you step out of the door with your right foot, and then you follow it with the left. What do you think happened when that left foot came through that threshold of the bathroom? The hair turned like white because there was too much product on it, and it coiled up to the size of an atom. Reverse Uno back into the bathroom, and I said, that's not going to work. That's not what I'm talking about. And so I got the coconut oil and just went through there with my hands or whatever and kept it moving. But when that happened, I said, well, you know what you're going to be talking about tonight. And so that got me to thinking about this whole thing with the Edges gel. And it reminded me of, and I hope I can get this all out without busting out laughing, but there's this radio show by Ricky Smiley. And they talk about, and I'm so sorry because this is really not nice because I love the Jacksons. And I don't believe in people getting off on other people's suffering or through ridicule and etc. Like this thing this poor Naomi went through. That's just something else to discuss at a later date. But they were talking about, Jermaine Jackson was to be appearing on their show or do something, and I'm paraphrasing all this. And so his contract had a special product list for, the processing of his hair, which is, just Google him and let the image speak for itself. And so I said, they need to, Cicely, we need to look at this gel thing because everybody has the right to make choices. But now if your hair is 4C, whatever, whatever your hair texture is, why are you going to work against it? And I'm so actually glad I sort of said it like that because This not only goes for if you have coarser textured hair. This goes for if you have hair that is very thin. You can be Anglo-Saxon, I'm just trying to keep it PC, whatever your race is, and then you try to tease it to within an inch of its life, like that poor guy or whatever, Phil Spector, with all this stuff, and that guy from Air Supply with the hair all teased up and everything like that, because they're going against their natural texture. Again, it's your choice, but that just is, it's just like defeating the point of the product you're trying to use. So I really need to find something that will allow my edges to stay neat. And let me just say this, when I say neat, I want my edges to be neat. I'm not saying I want them to look straight, because if I want them to look straight, I'll relax my hair. That's not what I'm talking about. My edges are growing in, and I can't say this enough, okay? I wish I had, hindsight's 2020, wish I had videotaped or taken a picture of what my edges were looking like before the castor oil. And I just realized I haven't had that castor oil in a month, and how different they are now. And I know hair grows in phases and stuff like that, but that's not this. This is the castor oil, but not, getting off subject. But I'm not just pleased with the edges, please. Anyone watching this that's beginning this natural hair journey, it's going to be a lot of habits that are going to need to be broken and new habits be created as you embrace this journey and what your real hair texture is. And when you have it relaxed or you have it under weave, you're dealing with another texture which is not yours. So you're going to have to learn how to adjust and stuff like that, and start treating your hair like a cashmere sweater, because if you just keep that in mind, your hair will flourish. Now, I'm going to stop for a second, because I know I've been talking a lot about what I've been placing on my hair that's already here, but there are things that you have to do to place in your body, because we're like a plant, we're a living organism, so things grow, and if you want the best results, you need to be careful of what you place inside your body. And I'll do another video on that, but I did want to just quickly say that, and I've been eating so much junk food, I don't know why. Junk food like Nutri-Grain bars and stuff like that. But today I got a whole Halloween candy at this office. I ate about 82 Starbursts. But anyway, I have been drinking about 78 ounces of water, and I only know that number because I read somewhere that you should drink half your weight in ounces of water each day. So you do the math, or please don't do that math. Also, I've been taking some biotin supplements, and this has 10,000 mcgs per tablet in it. Now, I sort of ran out, and I had to get another bottle, and I was like, I'm on a budget. So I got another bottle from Walgreens that was $2.97, which was cheap, but then it only has 1,000 mcgs of biotin. So that sort of defeats the purpose. So don't do that. Just get the $5.97 bottle. Because now I got to chew up 10 pills. 10 pills to get the same in one. So that's just silly and stuff. So I just made that choice on my own, and I know that there are hair supplements out there and so forth, but my personal belief is that I'm not sure that stuff works. I don't know. I'm trying the biotin right now. I haven't decided on a multivitamin, so quite honestly, I take those like sporadically, but I'll figure something out on that. But I really believe you can get a lot of your nutrients from natural foods. And I love juicing, and I'll touch upon that at a later time. But I think if you eat healthily and you really drink a lot, keep water in your system, because our bodies are made mostly of water. So think about the earth. If it didn't have the water, or we started depleting water, we'd be in a world of hurt, because nothing would work right, would operate right. I mean, nothing at all. So just keep that in mind when you're ingesting things in your body. Also, today I noticed like I was losing like the definition from the twist, so I said, oh, okay, sis, probably time to just start over from scratch and, do some finger detangling, or just get a super duper big brush and comb your hair out. Ends first. Do not comb from the root. Please, God. This is not Barbie doll hair. Do not do that if you're transitioning. You just start mess up your hair shaft and everything like that. But anyway, as I was combing through, and I actually pulled my hair back like this. So it's sort of like an homage to Grace Jones. I didn't expect it to look like this, but I actually sort of like it. But anyway, as I was combing through, I was checking out my trusty, seeing what's going on with my returning widow's peak and my side part, and I looked down. I don't know if you can see it, but I was like, I didn't invite Don King over here. So then it hit me. I'm like, what are we going to do about this hair color? Because I have grays coming in, and I'm under a lot of stress right now, so I know it's just going to escalate. And I said, what am I going to do about this? Because I'm really petrified of permanent dye. I use with a semi-permanent rinse for the little grays that I had, but see, now that my whole head is exposed, any way that I part my hair, you're going to see the grays, and I really just didn't take into account for that. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do about that, and we're all going to be figuring that out by Sunday, because if not, I don't know, because I'll look like a skunk, and I don't want to turn 29 and have a whole full head of gray hair. Now, lastly, I want to touch upon something else, which has to do with branding, specifically personal branding. Since I've been riding on the commuter bus, I've had the opportunity to read some articles. And I stumbled upon this article entitled Personal Branding and You. It was written by a Susan, S-U-S-A-N, Crichton, C-H-R-I-T-T-O-N. And in reading the article, I got down to a paragraph on the first page. I'm not going to read the entire paragraph. I'm going to paraphrase it. But the actual first sentence says, personal branding is about expressing your authentic self by allowing you to be the person you are meant to be. Then further in the paragraph, she states, your personal brand acts as a filter to help you make decisions that are congruent with who you are and what you stand for. This statement hit me like a ton of bricks. I started this journey because I wanted to be back in touch with my authentic self. And that didn't just mean, oh, I'm going to get rid of my weave and Angela Davis it on in. It's a lot more to this journey than just that. Now, stripping away the weave, yes, it allows me to, that distraction is gone. So you're seeing me for who I am and so forth. But it's a lifestyle change that I'm making also. Because I feel that sometimes when you don't live authentically, you will encounter a number of missteps. And it's because you're not residing in the life that you should be living, where you can be your best, where you're at peak performance, because you're fighting against what you are, where your best abilities lie. And I see this develop a lot in the middle school age group. All of a sudden you start taking the PSATs, you become aware of sports or whatever, and you start picking your own, your parents help you pick your own classes and so forth, and they may have an idea of what they see your future as being, but then your grades are stating that, well, this is not their strength. Maybe this kid should be doing something else. Maybe this kid needs to be going over to the vocational school because they're mechanically inclined. There is nothing wrong with that. I would date anybody that owned a race car company. I'm just, being funny, but seriously, think about that, and so forth and so on. There are a lot of people that don't have college degrees, and they are billionaires because they are living their authentic self. So I just wanted to state that because I think we need to guide our young people. Now, they're going to give you a hard time about this and so forth. And let me roll back a little bit, and state, I do not have children. Okay, so I know this is coming from like a funky place, like, well, how can you tell me what I need to say to my kids when you don't have one? Well, like I said before, I do have a 14-year-old niece. And, her authentic may be, well, I want to sit here and listen to One Direction all day long. But then I can look at her and say, this kid is musically inclined. She's really good in the performing arts. And I'm not just saying that. She is excellent and so forth. So there may be a way for, everybody to meet in a middle ground so that she has a satisfactory result in life that is realistic and she can have long-term earning potential. So I want you to keep that in mind, if you will, about stressing to your kids or young people that you encounter about specifically their behavior and personal branding in you. Because I'm going to tell you from experience, you can behave one way and get branded, and you're a whole nother person. You don't want your child to go through that. So have the talk with them about personal branding, behavior. Really observe that kid and see where their strengths lie, and try to nurture those so that they can have a more successful result, because they're not fighting to be a square peg placed into a round hole. Anyway, that's all for tonight. It is so therapeutic talking to you guys. TGIF. And we're going to talk tomorrow because we got to discuss this whole hair dye thing and so forth, because I need a solution stat. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.